Hi, Wendy here. I'm going very low tech for my first ever vlog using the webcam on my laptop. I could have used the camera on my iPhone, but I just decided to sit here at my desk, and after looking through the material for week 2, just talk off the top of my head, reflecting about my online identity and how I might need to manage that better, how I currently manage it, what social media platforms I use and how I use them, and what I might need to think about in terms of my brand as the course continues. So, where can you find me online? Lots of places. I use Facebook, I have a YouTube channel, I have 2 personal blogs, and I also maintain a blog in a fairly sporadic fashion that's connected to a research centre at my place of work. I use Twitter, and I've just started using Google Plus to see what all the fuss is about. Facebook first. I have been using Facebook since probably the end of 2007. I didn't know what I was signing up for at the time. I really had not heard of Facebook. And at the beginning it was all very exciting. I thought I was very clever when I got to 10 friends, then when I got to 100 I thought, well, that was wonderful. I used to share all sorts of photos of holidays and home things, and I was quite indiscriminate about what I shared in that way. As time went on though, I started to read a lot, because my area of interest is cultural studies, about Facebook's privacy settings. I watched The Social Network and just read a lot about what other people had to say, and I did become increasingly aware of Facebook in terms of my online identity. I probably didn't phrase it in those terms, but decided that it needed a little bit more managing. So at the beginning of this year, I decided to go cold turkey. I deactivated my Facebook account for about 2.5 months. I found I didn't miss it particularly, but I did get a little bit curious to see what had been happening. So I did go back onto my account and did some fairly ruthless culling, and now sit with about 25 friends. Those friends are people who I know I have a relationship with, and I was just interrupted then by my mobile phone, but I'm not going back to the beginning. So yes, I culled my Facebook friends down to 25 people who I felt and knew that we had some kind of reciprocal relationship. So I got rid of all the high school friends who never actually shared anything with me, or never would comment on anything that I did, never replied to anything that I did with their comments, and I've got 25 people there who I'm happy to share things with. So I use it in quite a personal way. My YouTube channel is also a personal network, although it is public, but it's for a personal purpose, I guess. That's where I, just for fun, because I previously trained as a musician, decided that I would start just recording myself playing the piano and singing songs that I liked. So that's what I do there. Sometimes people look at them, sometimes they comment. I don't worry too much about what they say, but it's a way of me making music that I find quite fulfilling, actually, and I feel like I can be quite open and confident with what I do there, and being a fairly introverted and reflective person, I like the sort of freedom that YouTube offers me to get out of my comfort zone, if you will. I have 2 blogs. The first one is called The Spiraling Shape, which, if you are a fan of They Might Be Giants, and you all should be, is the name of one of their songs. That blog was initially started as a space for me to write on a regular basis, to force myself to write in a reflective way about TV and television studies, which is what I completed my PhD in. So I would write a little weekly thing about something interesting that I'd watched and what I thought about it. It quickly broadened the scope of that blog, and now it's about anything and everything, really. Anything that I choose to share, and I think the key word there is that I choose to share on that blog what I think is appropriate. So some things, very personal things, will never be blogged about, and that's my prerogative to decide that. The other blog that I set up at the beginning of this year is called Trying to Save a Quarter. That title of that blog comes from a Seinfeld episode about the library, the New York Public Library. If you're not a Seinfeld fan, you should also be a Seinfeld fan. That's my lesson to you for the day. I started that as part of a process just to try and reflect on my progress as I began this LIS Master's degree, and it's worked quite well. It's a little bit sporadic. If I've got nothing to say, I don't feel pressure to blog there, but I use it as a process of reflecting on how I was going during term 1, and I found it quite useful for that. I also maintain another blog through my work with the research institute that I'm attached to, and that has a Twitter account attached to it also. It's very sporadic, and I'm a little bit lazy with that actually, truth be told, but it is out there and I need to get back to it. I use Twitter a lot. I've been using Twitter for quite a few years now. Same again, I signed up for it like Facebook, not knowing what it was or what it was meant to be or how I would use it, and it's gradually, I've gradually, I think, shaped an identity for myself on Twitter. So I will tweet about work things, I will tweet about personal things, I will tweet about community things, things I've seen, things I've been to, thoughts I have, things that annoy me, things that I love. Again, I think the key word there is that I choose what I tweet about. So there is such a thing as oversharing, even though I think the line between the public and private is now forever blurred with the advent of social media. I think that we do have a responsibility to take control of what we present of ourselves to other people, and everyone is going to have a different line in the sand, if I want to use your words, Kate, there, and I think that that's fine as long as they're happy with that. I use Twitter now in conjunction with my blogs, so every time I write a blog post I will tweet the link to the post, and I've found that to be quite a good way of integrating those two platforms together, the blogging and the Twitter account, and it just broadens the potential audience for anything that I might write. And finally, I have just started using Google+, which is in its trial mode, which is a sort of Facebook replacement. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to be yet. I haven't found I've used it excessively, and most of the people I've connected with on there have come from Twitter, so they're not actually my Facebook friends. So I'm yet to see if that's got any value that the other platforms that I'm using don't offer, but I'll be interested to see how it goes and if it can challenge the juggernaut that is Facebook in terms of social media. In terms of my own brand, I think that it's something that I have only just started thinking carefully about probably in the last 18 months. I really enjoy using Twitter. I will try and convert everyone to using it. I find that, as I said, as a fairly quiet and shy retiring person, it's a way for me to be public and a little bit brave with my comments without having to do that in a face-to-face way. I have been fortunate enough to meet some people from Twitter who I would consider part of my learning network in real life, IRL, and that's been fantastic, and I really encourage everyone to embrace it. Probably of all the things that I do, my initial blog and Twitter are the things that I enjoy the most, but I look forward to thinking more about my online identity. Perhaps I'll be searching out a domain name in the next 14 weeks and drawing all those things together. But at the moment I haven't seen the need to do that. I'm quite happy for each technology or each media form to sit a little bit separate from the other, because they all do slightly different things for me, but they work together to create the whole of me, I guess, in an online sense. And you should all feel very privileged, because it's the first time I've put my face on the camera. So that's my thoughts about online identity. It's gone for quite a long time, so I'll stop now.